All right, thanks. So in the interest of staying on time, we're going to go ahead and start. Esmeralda Meyer is the Institutional Animal Care and Use Committee Director. Is that your title? I forgot your title.
That is, yes, Dr. Greenlee.
And
Gatekeeper is my alternate.
okay. All right. I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I want to make sure we stay on time. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to this session. I'll be talking about the Animal Care and Use Committee here at Emory and how you get your protocol started. Make sure I can see my arrows here. Can you see my share screen? Okay.
That's a yes.
Okay. As part of our commitment to scientific rigor, the ICAC, the Institutional Animal Care and Use Committee, plays a vital role in ensuring the humane and ethical use of animals in research. ICAC oversight spans the entire research life cycle from protocol submission, review, and post-approval monitoring, including semi-annual inspections. If you have done animal work at other institutions and you have worked with ICACs at other institutions, you have seen one ICAC. My job as part of the leader of the office and the administrative arm of the committee is to help investigators and support investigators during the protocol submission review and then everything that comes after that. The checklists that you see here are all related to most certainly post-approval activities and how we interact with other areas of research administration. The ICAC is the proxy for animal subjects, which they cannot consent to procedures that are done to them. The functions of the ICAC are determined by the NIH Office of Laboratory Animal Welfare, or OLA, and you will hear this if we have questions related to your animal activities in case we have to report externally. So OLA is a term you want to pay attention to. And the committee reports directly to the institutional official. Here at Emory is Dr. Robert Nobles. You see here in blue the basic highlights of responsibilities for animal care and use. Protocol, nothing happens without an approved protocol. Site inspections with animal facilities and animals where animals are used outside the DER facilities. Program reviews, non-compliances, and whistleblower complaints, and that means investigating those, and the reporting, whether it's internally, externally, whether it is federal agencies or collaborative entities. Here is our website, ICAC. If you Google Emory ICAC, it will take you to the Research Compliance and Regulatory Affairs website, and there is a drop-down for animal care and use. That's where you find your link for protocol submission. You need to log in the first time in order to activate your account in the system, and I'll walk you through it in a minute. But also, if you click on Learn About the ICAC, it will have the basic information about the committee. This is our public website. We also have a SharePoint site that has all the documents. And so we list the policies on the public site, but access to the actual policies is found in our SharePoint site. If you are going to be submitting a protocol, please send us an email, icac@emory.edu. That's one of the take-home messages from this talk, where is our general inbox. It gets monitored constantly. And so that's where new investigators are asked to send emails when you're ready to start your protocol. But this SharePoint site, it has a wealth of information related to protocol submission, site inspections, alerts that the committee has approved, templates that we have generated to help investigators conduct better their animal activities. In terms of protocol submission, you go into eIACAC, and we have streamlined the submission process. My team, the research protocol analysts, support the investigator through the submission, the preparation of the protocol. We can't do it for you because at the end of the day, you are the owner of the information, what kind of activities you need to do, what kind of experiments you need to present, etc. but my team is there to support it, to support you in the submission. And so the first thing you have to do is send an email to our ICAC email. The RPA will set up an initial meeting. We call it meeting number one. You'll set up the skeleton of the protocol with all the help information. You will leave that meeting with some homework. And when that homework is done, when you have added the information, found information needed to populate the form, then you schedule a second meeting with our subject matter expert doing the quality assurance. That's also from our office. And at that point, you get into the details of those specifics for your protocol. The first meeting will show you all the standard procedures that the IACAC has approved. We always encourage to use standard procedures, but there are instances where your surgery is very unique to what you're doing. You need to create a team procedure. So standard procedures, team procedures eventually have to be part of your protocol. And as the submission progresses, when it's ready, then it will be submitted back to our office through the system. All the review and edits are done in the IACAC and then submitted for review. Usually, the total review time takes between 2 and 3 months. And it is important to ensure that at the same time you have submitted, if you're using biologicals, chemicals, radioactive materials, that in parallel you have reached out to EHSO, and I'll talk about your ancillaries because those are as important as your ICAC protocol. There are some help tools embedded in EICAC, and you can find them on the upper right corner, as you see here, the red square for help. And there are some guidance documents that will help you find the answers that to complete your homework that I mentioned in meeting one. Additional help at the question level, you'll find question marks that will give you examples, or it will give you, this is the information that you need to answer in this particular field. Copy pasting from the grant is highly discouraged. It wastes a lot of time, your time and the reviewer's time. They want succinct but complete answers. And so here are the other stakeholders: Division of Animal Resources. All the biologicals used in animals need to be tested or at least submitted for review to the DER. And here is the link to find their policy and instructions. Environmental health and safety. This is for registering all your biologicals, chemical, radioactive materials. No ICAC approval protocol can be approved without those approvals. And so those we call ancillary approvals. They are needed before your ICAC protocol is finalized. Occupational health and safety. This is part of PHS assurance, Emory's commitment to the safety of the workers and anybody handling animals in particular. And so it is an annual requirement. It needs to be done via the home portal, which is the occupational health portal for Emory. And last but not least, you also heard about this in earlier presentations. If you're using controlled substances, dangerous drugs, then in your animal care and use protocol, then you contact the NICHA BioSat. So here are your next steps in terms of contacting the Emory ICA to introduce yourself. We set up the first meeting, contact DAR, contact EHSO, occupational health, and controlled substances and dangerous drugs. With that, I will stop here, Dr. Granling. I appreciate the opportunity to share information about the ICAC this morning. Happy to take any questions.
Sorry, I was muted, so thank you. Esmeralda, it's very important for people to understand what they need to do to be able to safely use animals and ethically use animals. Any questions for Esmeralda? You can just go ahead and unmute if you like.
If you don't mind, if I could ask one.
Sure, go ahead, Bobby.
We have projects that are sort of in multiple areas, so not just, disease area 1, but disease area 2. Would you prefer that those be separate protocols or one protocol? Because I don't know how to make aims that are,
Yeah, so it depends. It depends on the funding. It depends on the species. And that is part of the conversation and the questions that we will ask you during the second meeting with the ICAC office so that we can better guide you. It's better to talk to us, perhaps talk to your veterinarians and see how, if the aims are completely different, we recommend separating protocols. But if the aims are kind of shared, if it's mouse or rice, or mouse or rat, they're non-X species, you can include multiple funding sources in one protocol. So that is something that you may want to keep in mind, but it depends on your aims. If the aims are similar and you have procedures that will be done, for example, it's a particular surgery, no matter what grant you have or no matter what project you're talking about, is the same surgery, you should have it in the same protocol.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right, well, thank you for staying on time. We're getting down to the last talk. Thank you all for hanging in there with us today. We're going to switch now to talking about graduate students and the Laney Graduate School. And so Holly Butkovich is here to tell us about that. And so Holly, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you for being here. We're running a little bit ahead. I think we caught you off guard.
No, you're perfectly fine. I have multiple screens, so just chasing the correct mouse is very important. All right, everyone can see my screen, I'm hoping.
Yep, we're good. Thank you.
Okay. Do you want me to go ahead and begin to give everyone back time at the end, or?
Go right ahead and start.
Fantastic. Okay. Hi. Good afternoon. My name is Holly Butkovich. I actually have been here at Emory for quite some time, but here in the Graduate Division of Biological and Biomedical Sciences, the GDBBS division, for about 4 years now. And so I have a bit of experience within the university as a whole, and also received my Juris Masters here as well. Our director was unable to attend for another meeting, so they asked that I step in, and I'm one of the program administrators over 2 of our 8 programs within the GDBBS, which is also underneath the Laney Graduate School. So the Laney Graduate School is how we actually award our students their PhD. We're housed within the Laney Graduate School with a number of different arts and humanities, a lot of your basic sciences, things of that nature. And then underneath Laney is the GDBBS, our own division. And we're a little bit different than most of the schools and departments in the fact that we don't have our own base department, business manager and whatnot. We depend on the Laney Graduate School to support us, as well as our faculty who then join from their home department. They join and decide to become faculty within the graduate division to, of course, help us with our education of our students, as well as supporting their labs. And then within the GDBBS are our 8 programs. So with that, the vision and the mission of GDBBS is to support that innovative pursuit of education for our faculty, for our students. We have a lot of our faculty that will join one of our programs and then join a second program. We have a few that actually join 3 programs, but within that division, we have this serious environment of students helping each other. There's multidisciplinary work. So you may have a very strong emphasis and research understanding within cancer biology, but you may also want to work with immunology. You may want to also work with genetics. And so this allows that to be fostered within our labs and with our students. So the GDBBS team has a kind of a senior level team that supports all of our mission and all of our programs. So at the head of that is our division director, who's also a faculty member in one of our programs. Emily Newtons is our direct support from the Laney Graduate School with the Student Affairs. And then Kathy Smith is our Director of Recruitment and Admissions. And then we also have our own business analyst that helps us with all of our more complex IT needs and building out our database systems and whatnot, and how they're integrated within the Laney Graduate School, Emory, and all the other Emory systems. And then we also have our administrative and communication specialists. So Laney, the graduate school actually has 40 programs across arts and sciences. And this is, again, at the graduate level. So majority of those programs are doctoral level programs. We have a few master's programs, but those are 40 programs across the university. And you will see most of those coming from arts and humanities. So I mentioned earlier we have 8 programs within GDBBS, and so you'll see them listed here. And when they all have like really long, complicated names, but we all, of course, use plenty of acronyms as you do in the School of Medicine and everywhere else. And we're going to look in just a moment at a sampling of one of these programs. Some of our programs are larger than others. Some have been around for a lot longer and gone up and gone down and fluctuated. And what makes GDBBS very unique and great is the fact that all of these programs, though they have their own distinct identity, and students apply and are part of these programs, they do work within each other, working with different faculty across the division. So for each of our 8 programs, we have a director for each of those programs, and those are typically 3-year terms that's voted on by other faculty. So these are faculty that have their own home department, they have their own laboratory, and they've decided, you know what, I really want to be engaged in education. I really would love to be able to work with these students. I would love to have these students working in my labs and doing research with me. And so they will volunteer and become a faculty member within our programs. And once they get a good idea, concept of how the programs are working, then there's leadership potential within these programs. So these individuals have been faculty for some time, and now they're directors of those programs. And they kind of help manage at a higher level the curriculum, faculty membership, a lot of the other ins and outs of the program. So with each of our programs, there are 8 programs, there are 4 program administrators, and each one of us actually have 2 programs that we lead. And the purpose of the program administrator is that we actually keep the program running. So each of our directors and other leadership positions, they are for a 3-year term, and they can have 2 consecutive terms. So there is some in and out going on with our leadership. And so to make sure that there's a consistent charge for the program and our students are well supported, as well as making sure our students stay on track with milestones so they can graduate, we have our program administrators to ensure that there is that continual information and sharing with our students in our programs. And we work within all the leadership of the program just to make sure that the student needs are being met, the program needs are being met, and that we're continuing to grow. So again, I have to apologize. I did not put together the slide deck. I'm using someone else's slide deck, so it looks like we're kind of repeating ourselves a little bit here. So to give you an idea of what it's like within our program, we have our faculty. Again, they have their home department. They may be a chair of a department. They may be a new faculty member. They have their own lab space. They're doing their own promotion. They're doing their own publication. But they also need and want those doctoral students within the Laney Graduate School working with them, or they may be really just engaged and they want to be a part of that. They may want to teach classes. They want to be a part of a student's dissertation committee and perhaps some of their publications. So we have those faculty that are part of the program, and they're engaged to help support the student through their progress. And within that, the faculty, we have several different places for faculty to plug in and to be a part of that. So they could be their mentor, they could be their principal investigator, their PI, their advisor. And so this is someone that after going through a year of rotations for the students to assess, then they decide to join a lab, and they will be a part of that lab during the entire time of their educational experience here at Emory as they're getting their PhD. So that mentor is very, very important to them. So there's a great relationship that's being built between that student and that faculty member, not only within a research, but also just kind of understanding how academia works, how the career works, and things of that nature. And then the student within their second year is building out their dissertation committee. And there is some regulations and some rules as to who those members could be. And within that, they have additional mentors that they're meeting with on a regular basis to discuss their publication, their educational pursuits, their research, and making sure that they are progressing. And our students are meeting with their dissertation committee every 6 months. Up until their 6th year. And if they're still here in 6 years, then they're meeting with their district dissertation committee every 4 months. So each one of those members of the committee also includes the mentor, is supporting the student. They're providing them feedback, resources, all sorts of support. Then we have our Director of Graduate Studies. This is another leadership position similar to our director, where the director oversees all the different components of the program and leads those. Our Director of Graduate Studies is a faculty member, again, that has joined the program and is really invested in advising those students, particularly those 1st and 2nd year students, to make sure that they are getting that right, the correct rotations in a lab, making sure they make that great connection. Finding that connection of a lab that really works with them. So is the research interesting? Great. But do you have a similar work style as your principal investigator? So it's important to make those matches. And so the Director of Graduate Studies makes sure that the students are on progress with the milestones and finding the right lab. And they can actually give them the best advice and advising for the science. All of our PAs, though we have a lot of higher level degrees, is not necessarily in the sciences. So our understanding and our support role is to provide them more administrative tasks and logistics and milestones for them to graduate. So the Director of Graduate Studies is that advisor to be able to support them. And again, we have our program director, and then we have the director of the GDBBS, who oversees all of the programs and making sure that the student is fully supported. At the end of their degree, every student, after they've submitted their paperwork, they've defended, they're up for graduation, every single one of them actually has to meet with our GDBBS director and give them some sort of feedback survey as to the experience, where they're going next, what feedback, and our director takes that very seriously into making sure that each and every one of our students have benefited from this Emory experience and that our programs are continuing to grow. So all of these faculty members are surrounding our student, as well as the administrators within our GDBBS team and their program administrator. And then we also have student affairs. We have a direct link with the Laney Graduate School that actually has our associate director of student affairs, who's housed within our GDBBS area at least twice a week. And so we're actually working with them on a regular basis to make sure our students are receiving that support. Since we don't have a direct department liaison for that, then we provide that at the division and the graduate school level. And then, of course, we have fellow students. So each of our students are coming in with their year cohort, but we do a lot of program initiatives. We have weekly seminars. So that way our students are learning from not only their own year cohort, but from upper year students. And they are all the upper year students are encouraged to be able to share all of that information. All of our students are involved with our recruitment on a regular basis every year, and they buddy up with our new students and recruits both during recruitment as well as when the students first arrive. So that that way we're always progressing, we're learning from one another, and the upper year students are sharing that with our younger students. So overall, as I mentioned, all of our faculty, we're not a regular department here. So a lot of our faculty are coming from the School of Medicine, which is why the School of Medicine invites us to this, to share this with you, because the majority of our faculty are coming from the School of Medicine. We also have School of Public Health. We have a few Emory College faculty from the departments of biology, chemistry, the Primate Center, and the School of Nursing. So you can see that we pull from a lot of different departments and schools across the university, and this really helps with the interdisciplinary study of everything. I think in the old days of academia, we pretty much stayed very much in a silo, and this really helps generate that interdisciplinary understanding of research and what people are doing. And so it really has allowed some fantastic research to come through with our students and our faculty. So as I mentioned, one of our 8 programs is PBEE, Population Biology. And so this is just a sampling of what their faculty looks like. Okay, so from our School of Medicine, we have human genetics, microbiology and immunology, infectious disease, neurology, and pediatrics. But we also tap into other areas of the Emory College of Arts and Sciences and the School of Public Health, as well as the CDC. As many of you have kind of learned already, I'm sure, the Emory University and CDC has a really great, strong relationship and a lot of cross-population of faculty and staff. And so we really tap into that, and it's just a huge benefit to our programs as well as to our students. So again, one of the big functions of our programs is to make sure that we're building community support. So we want our students to get the best Emory experience they possibly can, and that's in education, it's in their lab, it's in their research, and we want them to continue on with their career. But a big part of that is supporting them through their community, and we have a number of different programs, student-led groups that are constantly building a community within our programs. And so not only do we do those within those programs, but we actually do that within the entire division. And we have several different student organizations. One that comes to mind is Give, and they're doing a lot of voluntary experiences across campus, off campus, working with students in high schools and middle schools, giving back to the community, working with pet shelters and things of that nature. So we have a very, very robust student community, and that's something that we highly encourage. So this is a sampling of our GDBBS students from last year's cohort, and I will mention that there's at least 4 of our international students that's not represented in our graphic here. But a number of them, we do have a lot of international students, and we do try to support them as well. A number of our funders, of course, are federal grants, but we also make sure that our international students are able to receive grant monies and work in learning how to put together those grant proposals so they can be supported both while they're here doing their research, as well as after, if they're going to continue as faculty or even in their career. So this is something that we provide to the students, and then we make sure that our international students get a piece of that as well. So all of the programs have their own unique curriculum and set up somewhat differently. Again, they have their own unique identity, but for the most part, our training timeline is the first year. All of our programs are required to go through rotations. Currently this year, they go through at least 3. Some of them may go through 4. And so when a student comes in, they don't have to match up with a faculty member ahead of time. They shouldn't be doing that during recruitment. They're just trying to see if Emory is a good fit for them and if the program is a good fit for them. That first year is nothing but coursework. They're getting a lot of coursework during that time. And during that time, the Laney Graduate School is actually supporting their tuition as well as their stipend. And they're going through rotations. So some of you may actually have a rotation student with you right now. I think I noticed 1 or 2 faculty members on here that just joined our program. At the end of those rotations, at the end of the required first year, then they join a lab. They've gone through rotations. They've met with some faculty. They see the research is great. They see it's going to be a great working relationship, and they join that lab. In year 2, they will continue with some coursework. It's a little bit lighter than the first year, but there is still some coursework that they're doing. And then,
Holly,
yes.
Holly, sorry to interrupt. I just want to let you know you have about 1 minute left.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So then they are continuing that coursework, and there is a Laney graduate school requirement that they are TA training. So that way, every single one of our students within Laney is trained on how to be a faculty member. And then they're going to progress with their research and training and defend their thesis at the end. So I just want to give another, and of course this will be all in the slides, but this is a little bit of where our students end up at the end. And then how to join. If you go to our website, there is a whole list of things that you would go through, and you would submit an application, speak with the program director, and you would be able to join our programs. And again, that would give you access to all the students within the GDBBS. So I'm not going to click on the link here for time's sake, but everything is listed out, and we've made the system a lot easier than it has been in years past. And that is basically the end of my slides. It's just showing you how to actually go ahead and apply. So I don't know if there's time for questions or not. And again, all these slides will be provided for you.
Yeah, so thank you for that. If you have any questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat quickly. I also want to call your attention, for those of you who stuck with us all day long, we would love if you would take just a minute or two to complete a survey for us to tell us how today went, if there are things that you wanted to hear that you didn't hear, things that we did well. The only way we can make this better for the next group is to hear your feedback. So we'd appreciate if you would click that link in the chat and go ahead and fill out a survey. And Holly, thank you so much for filling in and doing this for us.
Of course, thank you.
Great overview of GDBBS. And hopefully you've convinced a few more people to join. So with that, we're going to end our session for today. Thank you so much for spending the whole morning with us. I hope that you've learned things that will be helpful to you in your careers. Please feel free to reach out if there's anything at all we can do for you. Thank you so much.